I know. It's been a while. I'm sorry. I know I've been absent. I haven't streamed in a while. I haven't posted a video in a while. I know. Listen, 2025, 2026 was very busy. Obviously, I have a little bit of time now. I mean, between, the last year and a half doing the Arch Enemy Tour, Eurofest, doing the Kill Switch run in Europe, which was 2 full legs, and then our Australian headliner right into Japan, then into the Lamb of God Tour. We've been busy. So I haven't been able to put anything out, but I wanted to kick back up this series again. We have a little bit of time off from tour, and I have a lot of guitars to show off. Now, I don't know how often these videos are going to come out, especially in the Tim's Vault series, because your boy's busy, but hopefully I can get out a decent amount while I'm home and bang out maybe, 6 or 7 videos at one time. Who knows? Today, as you can see from the title, this is all about my LACS FR custom that I got from Ibanez a couple years ago. I'm a big proponent of the FR shape. A lot of people like it, and unfortunately Ibanez doesn't put out a lot of them, but let's check mine out. This is my LACS FR. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know all about this guitar. Maybe not, the ins and outs of how it came to fruition, but you pretty much know of the specifications. So now, when I first signed on with Ibanez, I was a big fan of this shape, but unfortunately Ibanez didn't make them in a 7-string. I pushed, and luckily it happened in 2017. I finally got my wish, and they made the FR IX7, which a lot of you know about. It's a mahogany body with a open grain ash top. It's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, I got one of those. Unfortunately, because I sweat a lot and I also pour bottles of water on my head, the guitar, like the top on the guitar, kind of got a little wonky, and I got them to refinish it, which was absolutely sick. It is a pearl white, which eventually I'll do a video on that one as well. But that was my first FR, and I fell in love with the shape, and ever since, I wanted to get a full custom. Now, fast forward to 2023, me being with Ibanez for almost 10 years, they allowed me to build a full custom. I knew that I wanted an FR, but because FRs aren't in the lineup, it was a little bit of a hard sell. Originally, they were like, I don't know if we can do it because it's not a current product in our product line, and we haven't made one in a couple years. And I said, listen, that's totally fine. My second option is a flame top Xiphos. They definitely said, they were like, no, we'll do the FR. A flame top Xiphos would be awesome, and eventually I would absolutely love one, but I was reaching for the stars on that one. Now, for those of you that don't know, the Los Angeles custom shop with Ibanez is not open to the public. So it's one of those things where they only have a handful of guys working there, and the only way that you'll get one is if you're an artist or if you are a very special person. Occasionally they'll build guitars for people outside of the company, but it's gotta be, like Lady Gaga would have one, Demi Lovato would have one, somebody that's playing arenas, they have no problem building them for. But, even certain Ibanez artists don't have access to the custom shop. Obviously, that is unlike a lot of companies like Fender, Jackson, ESP. A lot of those companies have full custom shops that you or anyone else could just go to, spend, $5,000 to $10,000 and get whatever you want. Fortunately and unfortunately, Ibanez is completely closed doors. So when I got that nod, I understood that it had to be absolutely perfect. I had to knock it out of the park with, my specifications, because if I didn't, nobody would like it. So let's fully get into it. I'm a huge fan of flame maple, so I knew it had to be a flame maple top. It had to be a real flame maple top. I didn't want a veneer, obviously, because it's a custom shop. So we did a 4mm flame top on this, and it just looks stunning. When I saw this for the first time in person, my brain just exploded. And to be able to have a guitar with a top like this, especially from Ibanez, is just, it's absolutely amazing. For those of you that don't know, historically, Ibanez has some of the nicest flame top guitars, period. Whether it's a 3120, 8527, if you look at any guitars in the J Custom lineup that have a flame top, you're going to find something absolutely insane. Originally, I wanted a see-through black stain, and what's crazy is that in certain light, it is straight black, but then in other light, it kind of looks purple or blue. It really depends on whether you're in the sun, if you're inside, what kind of lighting it is. So it's kind of cool that I get a couple different looks out of the same guitar. It's not like a black guitar or a white guitar or something like that where it looks exactly the same every single picture and it kind of gets boring. It's kind of cool to see how people edit their photos, and then, like I said, you'll get, either a see-through black or a purple or a blue tint. It's super cool. With the maple top, obviously I went with a mahogany body. Mahogany body guitars for me are just end-all be-all the best. Now, I know that there's going to be certain audio guys that say alder is the best, or say that ash is the best, or something like that. I think that mahogany, time after time, just kind of proves that it's the best wood for guitars, especially for metal. It is absolutely fantastic, and that's probably the only wood from here on out. If I ever do more customs, or when I do more customs, mahogany is the way to go for me, especially with a maple top. Now, if you look, there is a natural flame maple binding around the entire guitar. Same on the fretboard, and same on the headstock. Now, I did steal that from a buddy of mine that had a sick Jaguar. I stole it, I don't know. I saw that guitar maybe 5 years ago, and I was like, you know what? That's a really good idea. Flame maple is one of those things where it's one of my favorites, and it looks so nice. Now, the flame maple binding on the ebony board really makes it pop. Having the darker wood in the middle, lighter wood on the sides, it really accents how dark the ebony is. I went with the ebony because it's, honestly, it looks great, and it's a little bit snappier, especially, playability wise. Now, for the neck, I went with a 5-piece roasted maple and wenge neck. I love roasted maple, especially for necks. I think that roasted flame maple is super nice, but I also wanted to make something that was a little bit more down to earth. I didn't want to make it too obnoxious, and the roasted maple I just absolutely fell in love with when I started playing the AZs, and I thought it sounded great. I think roasted maple and maple necks are definitely the way to go on custom builds. Mahogany necks can be cool at certain points, but maple for necks, end all be all, best wood in my opinion. I also went with a 5-piece because I like the way it looks, a little bit more sturdy, and especially with the thicker lines in the middle compared to the late 2000s and early 2010s. I think the thicker lines in the middle just look way cooler. Now, for the headstock, like I said, I love the matching reverse headstock. I think when you're talking about Ibanez stuff, Ibanez has one of the best reverse headstocks in the game, in my opinion. And another cool thing is that when you're looking at J Customs and 3120s and stuff like that, and the flame maple on those guitars, I think the flame maple on J Customs, especially flame maple matching headstocks, it just pops. Now, for pickups, as always, I'm using Seymour Duncan's. I'm using a modded set of a 59 and a distortion. Seymour Duncan and I have been working on a pickup and developing a pickup together to kind of really nail down what I love and kind of just get something that's all encompassing, find something that is super smooth, but has a little bit of bite to it. Something that is aggressive enough to where my pinch harmonics are insane, but also gets a perfect and, clear, clean tone as well. Because with fit, it depends on the song, but I can go from something super aggressive and, super pinch harmonic heavy, or like something to the beginning of Red Horizon. And having those cleans and those deep swells and stuff like that, I need something that's very versatile. I'm getting so many fingerprints all over this thing. I need to clean it when I'm done. So my controls are the same as always. 3-way blade. I personally don't like the 2 and the 4 position on a 5-way, so it's just easier, more purpose built. Shore grip knob, easy to grip onto just because it has this little rubber ring around it, and the numbers are massive, so perfect. And I have a coil split. I have a toggle switch for a coil split. Now that provides no functionality during the Fit for an Autopsy set. I don't really use any single coil tones during the set, but if I want to mess around with them in the studio, or if I want to mess around with them at home, I have it. So all in all, this thing is 80% purpose built and 20% show. It's super nice to look at, but for me, it is exactly what I need when it comes to playing a live show. There's certain things about this guitar, like the reverse headstock, that allow me to do behind the nut bends a little bit easier. The fact that it's a fixed bridge, it's easier to take care of on tour. The fact that it is a fixed bridge, I can, kind of grind into the strings a little bit more, and I can do double stop bends and stuff like that where you don't necessarily have to worry about a floating trem. Now, I like floating trems, but I prefer a hardtail. Like I said, I had to make something that popped, and originally I was like, oh, I want to do this, and landing on this exact guitar, I'm so obnoxiously happy. Will we ever see a production model? Probably not. But will I make something that is based off of this for my next custom? 100%. Not sure what body style. I might make another FR. I might make an AZ. We don't know yet. As far as another FR production model, that is up to you. If you want to see another FR production model, that's something that you are going to have to let Ibanez know about. There's no denying that, market research shows that if there's a lot of people that want something, if there's a lot of demand for it, then most of the time companies will make it. Luckily, I will not have to wait a long time for my next custom. Should be due coming up, which would be awesome. I can't wait to build the next one and go through that process again. It's super fun. And, getting build pictures and getting updates about a guitar that's being built for you specifically is very cool. And especially the guys over at Ibanez, they take care of me real well. I love my guys over there. I love the custom shop guys as well. And that's one cool thing working with companies that you love, is that you get to create cool stuff together. So what's the next thing that you want to see a video on in my collection? I know a lot of you know what I have, but I haven't gone too in depth on Instagram about stuff. So what do you want to see? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.